Xilonen has to be like the most valuable character you can have on your account because she's able to actually be a competent DPS along with having her amazing support ability. I think she legitimately is the best value character in Genshin Impact. I don't think there is a second contender at all. I just don't see it because with Xilonen, you get both roles that are hugely usable. It's not like Xilonen DPS, like it's a genuine thing you can go ahead and do. And I honestly, it's pretty good. I am very curious to see what kind of damage numbers we're going to see here because I went from 8 to 10 here. I haven't looked at level 9, so there is going to be a decent increase. So I think we're just going to start off easily. Just Furina burst. We'll do Sinyun burst real quick. 1, 2, boom. All right, here we go. Goro E skill or Q skill, I mean. 115 was that? Yeah, 120. Okay, not bad. Okay, weirdly. Okay, 138. I mean, that is not bad. And then, I mean, she's got the extra stuff there. I mean, I don't know, guys. That's pretty good to me. Like, that's not nothing. That's pretty good to me. Oh, we died. We died. All right. Yeah, that happens when you fight the capybara. 140, and I mean, guys, this is a secondary build for the character, right? I do not have the best Xilonen. Let's be real. Now, my Xilonen is C2, so she's doing a little bit more damage than your average Xilonen, right? When I'm using Xilonen as a DPS, this source sample was always active from C0. I never realized, but really, you're just getting the 50% geo damage dealt. That's all you're getting here. And then, I mean, you can see my Xilonen build here is not exactly great. I mean, 22, that's only going up to 62, right? You know, the crit rate definitely could be a lot better. We could definitely have, you know, we don't need the energy recharge because we have Sinyun healing us. But 180 crit damage, like, let's see what the crit damage is. 136, that's pretty high. But if we look at, like, Nevi or some character like that who runs a very similar set, right? And he's like, there's no crit rate built into the guy. He just has that much crit rate. What is his crit damage? 299. Okay. Yeah, 34, 122. Okay, so maybe the crit damage is fine, but you know, I really do think that, you know, it's pretty good. I do run double defense goblet and sands just because I don't really have a good geo damage sands that I can use for obsidian, and the, you know, sands here is pretty good for it, right? So honestly, it's not bad. Like, she really does kind of cook. Like, it's pretty good. So we saw 140 basically as our maximum, I would say. Let's go ahead and add Yun Jin to the team and see how that goes. Now, my Yun Jin is only level 80, which is something that I definitely need to work on because it's been something that I've wanted to work on for a while. I just always never do it, you know? It's just, yeah. I initially, I thought my Yun Jin was already level 90, right? But no, she wants to be leveled up a little bit more, so hopefully we can do that. I am running a triple Vavonia setup here. We do need a defense scaling spear, and then Yun Jin can actually start being like really good option once again. Like, I think Yun Jin, she's not necessarily like a bad option, but she's never like a, you know, top tier option. I think if we get a defense scaling spear, sort of like how we got Cinnabar Spindle, right? If we get a defense scaling spear, Yun Jin could be very good. Now, our main source of healing would be Xilonen's Q. Oh, wait, it doesn't heal if you don't convert, actually. I completely forgot about that. So, yeah, we're not going to heal. But let's go ahead and let's see all of this. All right, come on. You, and we'll have you. Okay, and now we'll have this. So, the highest number, all right, if we want to crit, 43,000, 42, and 49. That's not bad for a character who just does not use like this. This isn't something she needed to do. This just isn't something she needed to do. That's really good. I really like, you know, this character. I think it is legitimately, she is the best value character in Genshin Impact right now. I don't see another one, right? Unless the Pyro Archon comes out and does the same thing, which would be like sick, right? She'd be a Pyro DPS along with, you know, being a support. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I imagine what they're going to do is prioritize her as a support. I imagine what they're going to do with the Archon, just due to Kanich and Mulani's existence and them both needing that Pyro Applicator, she's probably going to have something similar to Raiden, I would say, right? You know, Raiden can always, you know, sort of apply Pyro off-field. She doesn't necessarily buff the characters, but you can think of her energy regen as a buff. I think what we're going to see is, like, the Pyro Archon is probably just going to be a more modern-day Raiden. She's probably not going to have any energy mechanics, but she might have some buffing mechanics, right? Maybe if she's, like, on field and she can buff all the characters depending on their elemental type, sort of how Xilonen can do it, but she just does it when she's on field as a main DPS. And, you know, maybe we see a constellation that makes it happen when she's off field, and then that would be pretty sick. Maybe it's her C1. This is all me just theorizing, because I am very interested in the Pyro. If you don't know, I'm very interested in the character because I like her to a certain extent. I don't really talk about her much, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, Xilonen, she did very good compared to, you know, let's look at another support character when you turn him into a DPS. Like, if you're using this guy as your main source of DPS, you're not doing good. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. You're not doing good. You know, if you use Yun as your main source of DPS, you're not doing good. If you use Fiorina, I mean, she can work, but, like, that's not the character that you want to do a DPS on, because her entire... You will get more benefit from using her minions and just having her on hydra damage bonus than physical. So her entire on-field performance is just not there, really. Like, it's like, oh yeah, we can use her on field as a DPS, but it's like, you know, you'd get the same exact result if you used her off field. You get a better result if you used her off field. And the same thing, you can reverse it and do for DPS is if you use Risley as a support character, what is he doing to support your team? It's as simple as that. What is bro doing? What is Xiao doing? What is Xiao doing to support your team? What is Raiden? Well, Raiden is different. What is, you know, Chloride doing to support your team? What is Sinnoh doing to support your team? Like, it's just not, you know, you design the teams around these main DPS characters. Whereas with Xilonen, you design the team around her when you want her to be a main DPS. But then she can also take the backseat and just not be a DPS. I mean, that's pretty good. I genuinely think this is the most valuable character in the game. Like, I have R1, C2, right? But still, even at C0, R0 or whatever, she's still a competent DPS alongside of all of her support buffs, right? I like to compare with, you know, her weapon, but if you don't even have her weapon, she's still worth it and, like, still really good. And I think it's just, she's really good. I think she is the most valuable character in the game. I think that this character, if you don't summon on her, if you didn't summon on her, I guess, because her banner's gone, but if you didn't summon on her initial run, I hope that you get her on her second run, because it's just such a good character to have. It is legitimately just so good, especially if you have Yun, because the combination of these two, you don't have to have Fiorina. I use Fiorina, but you don't have to have her, right? You can use, well, who else can you use? You can use some off-field DPS, all right? You can use someone else, but I don't really know who that would be. Yeah, I don't know who else you would use instead, because I don't think Yun Jin only buffs normal attacks, right? She doesn't buff charge attacks or anything like that. Yeah, just normal attack damage. Yeah, I mean, pretty good, I'll say. Very good performance by, like, the top 3 DPS or support in the game, right? She may not be a top 3 DPS, but she's a top 3 support in the game. And I mean, you just look at those 3 characters, Kazuha, Fiorina, Xilonen, right? You look at those 3 and it's just like, oh yeah, you're winning the game if you have this, right? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.